So hello, it's me, Denny Daniel, and I'm here with...
Gabe.
Diana. Sarah.
And they came all the way from New York. And if you've never been to Lincoln Center, you need to go, which, how is that even possible? But we're all kind of doing stuff like that.
It's on the west side.
It's on the west side, go. My friend's the neighbor, actually. So my cousin, actually. So these, now they're going to open up their very first new acquisition for the Museum of Interesting Things. The first time you guys have ever done this. So I got these 3 boxes over here that each one of them is going to open. Now I do this like a 42nd Street shell game, which I'm actually born and raised in New York, and I remember the 42nd Street shell games, where a guy would show up with 3 shells, and he would put a quarter under one of them, mix them up like this, and you had to guess which shell had the quarter, and you would win something. The only difference here is I don't have 3 shells. There isn't a quarter under any of these boxes, and you win nothing. So it's ethically like a 3-card Monte or a shell game, isn't it? Kind of, yeah, in a way. It is a New York shell game. But the similarity is this. I do mix them up. So here is me mixing up the boxes. Are you guys confused?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, she's clearly confused. What about you, Sam? Are you confused? Are you confused? Excellent. You're all confused?
Yeah, we're
yeah? Okay, good, because otherwise I would have to do this all day.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone pick a box, any box. That one?
Sorry, Gabe.
There you go, and let me give you your scalpels. So one for you, and one for you.
Okay.
And whatever you do, don't cut yourselves, don't cut each other, and don't cut my cat. But if you do decide to cut each other, yourselves, or my cat, I've got Civil War surgical tools that I can cure you with.
That sounds
Fun.
Yeah.
And you don't need silly stuff like anesthesia or sterilization. A shot of whiskey and you're fine.
right.
And I have Prohibition whiskey in the kitchen.
Really?
Sealed in the bottle, yep.
Who made it?
Overhauled, which is a very famous company apparently, because I did a gig with Jimmy Bean and they were like, this is one of our brands.
Really?
And I said, well, I have a sealed bottle from 1919. And they couldn't believe the liquor was still in it. I don't know how some alcoholic didn't open it during the...
Okay, I'm gonna guess this is
12
a
years.
78. Something like that.
Oh my lord!
No,
it
it's
looks
a
like
real.
it's a film.
It's a real.
Wow, that's cool.
So in archive school, we learned to smell these before you open them.
For the vinegar syndrome?
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it won't have vinegar syndrome. I prefer chocolate to vinegar anyway. I always hear the Mission Impossible theme now. I know I'm going to get sued for thought crime, but what can you do? So let's see what you opened.
Oh, Laurel and Hardy.
Wow, that is so cool. Why do I
Man
find
of
that?
War.
That is perfect for
That's
you to
great.
open. Wow. That might be one of my first 16s on Laurel and Hardy.
Really?
So when I show the Laurel and Hardy film, you'll be like, I was the one to open it before Denny did. As a person who actually working with film, you just said, ironically, out of the 3, you opened the film.
Right.
The coincidence is unmistakable, which I've noticed that, and we noticed this pattern since the beginning of the museum. People who open up packages, 80% open up things that are uncanny or coincidence to them. And our regular fans that go to the speakeasies every month, they laugh about it because whenever someone goes, oh my God, I studied this, or this is the town I'm from, the regulars go, yep, that's Denny's statistic. And we noticed the pattern
This is a VCR.
for years.
That
A
was
VHS.
Or that's what I meant. Sorry, that's the...
Got some Victor flash powder.
Whoa, that is really cool. So this is magnesium flash powder for this. I'm going to show you, Sarah. You're going to go crazy. I actually have the device that you would use that with. And then you're going to go, oh, I know what that is. This would go for a magnesium flash. So a photographer using one of those big bellows cameras would use this flash and put this powder on there, and then you put a giant pile like that, and you'd aim at them, and then you'd go like this, and it would make a spark, and the flash would go off, and that would probably blow their heads off. And then you take a picture, because clearly that's their best side.
And you have
That is cool.
Gorillas?
Gorilla at Large.
Yes.
Gorilla at Large, which is a 3D VHS, believe it or not.
3D.
3D VHS, yeah, and this is a very rare piece. It was done live on television, and the guy who got me that taped it as a kid,
Wow.
and he had the original 3D glasses and everything.
Yep, here they are.
Yeah.
Cool.
So these are the 3D glasses you would have worn, although I have a feeling it might have been Pulfric, which is, or it might have been another one, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the tape and see if it's Anaglyph, Pulfric, or some sort of like weird, format from back then. But yeah, this was done live on TV back. I think he said the 70s or the 80s. It might have been the 80s for this. Yeah, it had probably almost definitely the 80s. Yeah, 70s would be too early for VHS 3D especially. I have probably the world's largest 3D VHS collection. I do a whole show, the 3D VHS Festival. We're doing it in Coney Island in I think July or August. And the guy who did the Rolling Stones in 3D is going to talk at that lecture. So yeah, I have over 100 tapes that are 3D VHSs. So that's a really cool one. But this is the only one I've ever seen. That's like a one of a kind. Because he just taped it as a kid and got it to me. And this, the magnesium powder is also really rare. That's actually going to be a star of the show. I'm going to keep that one out over here. So all three are really good, fantastic choices, perfect choices for people that
Glad we
already
could
do
help out.
antique stuff. So, bye world!